Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to welcome all of you to East Turkey and to the second annual Forum of the Alliance of Civilization. It gives me great pleasure to host you this evening here in Istanbul, a city connecting continents, a city which has been a cradle of civilizations. In fact, the purpose of our gathering tonight is in total harmony with the exceptional character of our host city itself. Just like Istanbul bridges Europe and Asia, we have assembled here in order to lay another brick on a singular initiative, an initiative the only aim of which is better and further connecting different cultures and bridging the gaps of understanding. Our aim is to do so by emphasizing and promoting the richness of diversity in our lives and fostering a universal atmosphere of mutual respect. Distinguished guests, the steady growth of the Alliance of Civilizations initiative and the fact that it is already making a difference for the better are a source of happiness and optimism for all of us. Furthermore, the strong global interest in the initiative has clearly demonstrated the international community's clear preference for an environment of cooperation and harmony rather than confrontation and conflicts. Nevertheless, I am confident that you will join me when I say that there is still a lot to be accomplished and a long road to be traveled. In the information age, the unprecedented and immediate effects of globalization are felt in diverse ways. As our world is becoming ever smaller, the international community is also becoming more connected. Today, we share a strong awareness of what we have in common and therefore what is at stake. We can only see this in the most current example of the ongoing global financial crisis. The undeniable fact is that in our globalized world, not a single member of the international community is immune to the arising problems. This is true for the economic downturn, and it is certainly true for the new threats and challenges we are facing today, in addition to the chronic ones like racism. Among these new threats and challenges, terrorism, unfortunately, tops the list. Aside from terrorism, there are other new threats that we, as members of the family of nations, must encounter. Religious or ethnic extremism and intolerance and xenophobia have grown into grave dangers, reappearing in the form of anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and many other forms. With the far-reaching effects of 9/11, we have seen that these circumstances have brought about mutual distrust, fear, and polarization among adherents of different faiths and religions in the world. We have all witnessed that radical elements have and are still exploiting this situation. The current economic crisis does not make our job easier, resulting in imbalances in income distribution, in unequal opportunities, and poverty endanger not only social but also political stability in any given country or in the world as a whole. Ladies and gentlemen, against such a backdrop, Turkey and Spain have presented the Alliance of Civilizations initiative under the auspices of the UN Secretary General as a comprehensive coalition. a coalition which could stem the tide of offensive stereotyping and growing misperceptions about peoples of other cultures and faiths. In doing so, the two countries adopted a straightforward approach based on simple but powerful principles. At this point, I would like to congratulate Prime Minister Zapatero, Prime Minister Erdoğan, UN Secretary General Ban, and President Sampaio for their valuable efforts. The basic rules guiding our journey are already embedded in our collective consciousness. Allow me to underline some of the more important ones as I see it. We must encourage greater cross-cultural understanding and foster an atmosphere of mutual trust. We must bear in mind that cultures are not self-contained. They can evolve through constant dialogue and exchange. We must acknowledge that diversity is not a source of conflict, but a source of richness, having its roots in human nature itself. We have to clearly reject the dangerous effort seeking cultural uniformity. Indeed, 8 centuries ago, the great Turkish Sufi and humanist Yunus Emre called upon all peoples from all faiths to embrace each other in love, respect, and friendship, while sanctioning those who discriminate among nations. In the words of another great man, but a contemporary one, Mahatma Gandhi, we must respect other religions, even as we respect our own. Mere tolerance thereof is not enough. At this point, I also want to quote Reverend Martin Luther King. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. In our day, however, the sad reality is that walls of prejudice and intolerance still continue to bitterly divide humanity. In order to counter this greatest challenge in front of us, we must act in unity of purpose and in resolve. The key words guiding us must be determination, cooperation, and dialogue at every level and field of life. Therefore, we all need to be as daring as extremists are. It is high time that we focus not on our differences, but on what we have in common. I hope and believe that the consultations here in Istanbul will not only be fruitful and thought-provoking, but also build upon the efforts put forth in Madrid in January 2008. Needless to say, we must continue to concentrate our efforts, especially towards strengthening the ownership and dissemination of the principles of pluralism, dialogue, respect for human dignity, fundamental freedoms, and gender equality through the international community. Distinguished guests, it was Atatürk, the founder of the Republic of Turkey, more than 70 years ago, who had said, "Mankind is a single body and each nation a part of that body." We must never say, "What does it matter to me if some part of the world is ailing?" If there is such an illness, we must concern ourselves with it as though we were having that illness. Taking strength from this wise statement, Turkey is determined to continue to exert every effort, both within the alliance of civilizations and in international fora, within a view to promoting cooperation, peaceful coexistence, dialogue, and harmony around the globe. I have no doubt that the views and opinions to be voiced here will mark this occasion as yet another milestone on our road towards a future in which understanding, friendship, respect, and harmony become the dominant form of human interaction. I thank you for your kind attention. Thank you very much.